Joe Biden is no longer in touch with reality. I believe Joe Biden has checked out. I think he's gone, and that's why they've been hiding him lately. That's why they've been pushing out all these latest executive orders and things like that. I don't think he is in control of his faculties. I don't think he's in control of the everything that's going on in his country right now. He's no longer running our country. And the question is, so who is running things right now, and who is trying to quote unquote Trump-proof things before January 20th, before Biden leaves office? Because he's not coming out speaking to the press. He's not talking to the people. We just see all these things going on behind the scenes with executive orders and such. So we're going to talk a little bit about it. But before we get started, go ahead and hit that like button. Share this out so we can get this information out there. Subscribe if you're not already a subscriber. And hit that alarm bell so you know when I'm putting out new stuff. Also, check out my link tree in the description. It has a link to my Patreon. That's where I talk about things that I can't talk about here. There's also a link to my Instagram and my X account, so check me out there as well. All right, so let's get into this news. Now, this comes from PJ Media, and they report, is Joe Biden making any decisions anymore? Who knows? Probably not. Heck, it was debatable from day one whether he was the one actually in charge of his administration. And y'all know I've been saying that for years, right? Well, now he's made it crystal clear that he's utterly disconnected from reality. According to White House insiders, Biden is reportedly lamenting his decision to drop out of the presidential election and try not to laugh. He still believes he could have easily defeated Donald Trump had he stayed in the race. He's totally delusional. Joe Biden regrets having pulled out of this year's presidential race and believes he would have defeated Donald Trump in last month's election, despite negative poll indications. White House sources have said the president stepped aside to be replaced as his party's nominee by the U.S. Vice President Kamala Harris after mounting pressure from fellow Democrats who cited polling evidence that appeared to show him heading for a near certain election drubbing from Trump, who was seeking a historic return to the White House as the Republicans' nominee. Now, I don't really know. I don't really think that Biden would have fared any better, to be honest with you, than Harris. But Harris's ascent to the top of the ticket led to a surge of enthusiasm and improved poll numbers, but ultimately ended in a decisive electoral college and popular vote defeat. While Biden and his aides have been careful not to blame Harris, they apparently believe the result would have been different if he had stood his ground, according to the Washington Post reporting. Many Harris supporters dispute the belief that Biden could have won the election had he stayed in. They believe that Biden waited too long to withdraw, leaving Kamala with insufficient time to build an effective campaign. I don't think that's the truth. Even if she had enough time, she still would have been hiding from reporters. She still would have been terrible at interviews. She still would have been given word salads and platitudes. So I don't think that would have helped her anyway. She already had like $1.5 billion to spend and blew that plus 20 million, so I don't think she's I think more time would have hurt her even more, because that's more time for people to see how terrible and how much of a disaster she really was. But of course they're wrong too. Trump's strength in the 2024 was, for all intents and purposes, baked into the cake. The Harris-Walz campaign raised and spent $1 billion, but failed to win a single battleground state, highlighting the futility of their efforts. It really didn't matter whether Biden ran or not, or had dropped out earlier. The Democrat Party brand was already in the toilet due to the failures of the Biden-Harris ticket. Still, Biden's perception of how the election would have played out is indeed a curious mix of denial and delusion. In a Pod Save America episode last month, former Obama staffers John Favreau, or however you pronounce his name, and Tommy Viter openly criticized Joe Biden's 2024 campaign and called his decision to run again a catastrophic mistake, and revealed that Biden's team internal polling showed Trump poised to win 400 electoral votes, a detail kept quiet while Biden's camp pushed the narrative that he was the strongest candidate. 400. Quote, so they were shivving Kamala Harris to reporters while they told everyone else not a time for an open process and his vice president can't win, so he's the strongest candidate, Favre said. Then we find out when the Biden campaign became the Harris campaign that the Biden's campaign owned internal pollings at the time when they were telling us he was the strongest candidate showed that Donald Trump was going to win 400 electoral votes. That's what their own internal polling said. Biden was never going to be able to win the election, nor was Kamala Harris. No Democrat would have been able to win either because the election was a referendum on the incumbent party. And that's what I've been saying from get-go. It doesn't matter who they would have threw in there. If they had a D next to their name, they would have lost because Democrats destroyed this country. Democrats destroyed the economy. We don't feel our borders are wide open because of them, and everyone knows this. So it doesn't matter who you would have put up there; they would have lost to Trump regardless. And for Biden to even suggest he could have won proves he's not in touch with reality. Absolutely not. He's delusional. He lost his faculties. He's been lost his faculties. We already knew that. But y'all let me know what y'all think about this. Leave your comments down below. Like, share, and subscribe. And check out jjthepsychotherapist.com for the latest in news. Until next time, peace.